Hello. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Progressive Discussions. I'm your host, James P. Madonna. This is the live streamed YouTube version of Progressive Discussions, and I'm coming to you from the Mega Life 21 studios here in northeastern New Jersey. And this show is dedicated to my late, great co-host and mentor since 1995, the one and only the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman, who passed away this April 22nd, I believe, of 2018. I've known him since the early 1990s and have done shows with him since 1995. And I owe everything to him. I miss him very much. May he rest in peace. And we used to joke around about, that if he should die, he wanted a bust made of himself, which is kind of like a headshot in photography, like a headshot um, from the chest up, statue. And I would joke around and say, I'd rather transplant your brain into a cyborg, into an android robot or something like the $1 Million Man, $6 Million Man, Lee Majors. Remember that? Yeah, put your brain into a cyborg. We used to joke around about that. Uh, Brilliant man. He started, of course, Newsletter Censored in 1977, a progressive newspaper, a newsletter rather newsletter. And we had a lot of great fun together. We had a lot of vigorous debates and arguments, real bad arguments, but for the most part, we both shared the same philosophy, the same way of thinking. We're both progressive, even though Dr. Bill was farther to the left than I was, but we both shared the same way of thinking. Um, he was a very multi-talented, very logical, um, highly intelligent, very deep-thinking Aquarian. Okay, and I did something better than erecting a statue where pigeons and birds can land on it and shit on it. I dedicated all of the internet talk shows, uh, past, present, and future, to him as a memorial to the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman. So I think that's a lot better than having a statue that birds can shit on, to be honest with you. I want to also give a shout out to athlete, circular training and strength athlete, wonderful examples to both of them, to older men, to older people, as using fitness as a fountain of youth, which it is. Mr. Jeff Zambello, uh, originally from Boston, Massachusetts, now living in the maritime province, I believe, of New Brunswick, Canada. And Mr. Mace Man himself, Rick Brown of Mission Viejo, California. They will both be in my neck of the woods within minutes of where I live next week. July 1st and July 2nd, 2018. Mr. Mace Man Rick Brown is doing a mace swinging seminar at, I believe it's New Breed Fitness on Garibaldi Avenue in Lodi, New Jersey. I will be there, God willing, to video the event. I will also be spending time with Mr. Commodore Jeff Zambello early that afternoon, July 1st, Friday, July 1st. We will partake in a lunch buffet. We will be going live with a show, live indoors and an outdoor circular training sort of reality show. So we will be busy. I will be busy next week for those 2 days. The both of them will be in my immediate area, which is very rare. I mean, God bless him. Jeff Zambello is driving all the way down from the maritime provinces of Canada, and we are going to have a great time. It's going to be great fun. We're all older gentlemen that are very fanatic about physical fitness and holistic health. So it should be great fun. Hopefully, Mr. Salvatore Mercurio of Wayne, New Jersey, the king of mozzarella, would be able to join us. Myself and Jeff Zambello, I already told him. And I already notified the creator, Mario Petrus, who I give a shout out also. And to my near dear sweetheart, Natalia Rodriguez of San Diego, California, I also give a shout out to greetings, warm greetings. And I want to start off the show with 7 lucky bells for this week's Progressive Discussions. Oh, by the way, we have chat on this live stream show, and the chat window is to the right. Okay, so feel free to chat either during the live stream show or anytime after it ends. Okay, 7 lucky bells. R. This was provided for the show a long time ago by the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisman. God rest his soul. Okay, now, I want to start off. This is my lucky blackthorn shillelagh from Ireland, as you can see. The shamrock of authenticity. I want to give a moment of silence for the, I believe it was 8 people, students, high school students. I think 1 police officer was shot in, I think it's a town called Santa Fe, Texas, which I believe might be on the Gulf of Mexico. There was the 22nd, I believe, according to CNN, the 22nd school shooting of 2018, and we're not even towards the end of 2018. We're like in the middle. 22nd. Now, why are these punk kids getting a hold of firearms, let alone assault weapons? Something's wrong with the system, obviously. You know, so I want to give a moment of silence for these innocent victims, these poor souls. Okay. Now, I want to begin the show discussing holistic health and nutrition. And I'm going to start by telling a personal story that I experienced. And it might seem insignificant to many people. Some people might make jokes about it, but it's a true story, and it forms a pattern. It represents a pattern that I'm trying to show here. Okay, one day I was shopping in a local Asian market, looking at medicinal teas. When I finished looking at the teas, I took a walk and I got myself a big bag of jasmine brown rice from Thailand. Then I look up and I see this large jar of Ovaltine, but the label was a little different than the Ovaltine sold in American supermarkets. And there was some Asian characters on it, you know, and some European letters, in terms of, I think sold in the United Kingdom or whatever. So I took the jar in curiosity and I read the label. And I noticed something very different about the Ovaltine that was made to be sold abroad, internationally, not in the United States. And that major difference was there was no added sugar in the Ovaltine made um, to be sold internationally. The first ingredient was barley malt extract, and then it was followed by cocoa powder, whey protein, isolate, whey protein, a supplement of vitamins and minerals, so on and so forth. There was nothing bad in it. There was no chemicals in it. There was no, and I repeat, no added sugar to the Ovaltine designed to be sold in Asia and Europe. Interesting. Then going into the near future after that visit to the Asian market, I went into the local American supermarket and I picked up the jar of Ovaltine that is meant for the American consumer. And lo and behold, sugar was way at the top. It was loaded with refined white sugar, and malted barley extract was like way on the bottom. And so were the vitamins and minerals and everything else. So I'm wondering, gee, why are all these products made by the same company sold in the United States predominantly refined carbohydrates, which is toxic to the human body? And the healthy ingredients goes to Europe and Asia. Maybe because Europeans and Asians won't tolerate anything but the best. Maybe they just, Americans are addicted to refined carbohydrates deliberately as a plan. Maybe it's part of the depopulation program, the genocide. American food industry puts toxic garbage on the shelves. Americans eat it. They get sick over and over. Hospitals in the United States and drug companies make more money. It's a revolving door. People drop dead. The the morticians make more money. So on and so on. The medical profession continues their racketeering. So there's a pattern here with food, so-called food. I don't even want to call it food. It's a toxic food sold in the United States as opposed to food sold elsewhere. So now do you see what I mean about the Ovaltine story? It forms a pattern. It really does. Also, I want to mention that I think, in my opinion, that it should be in the curriculum of every grammar school class, grammar school age into 4 years of high school and also well into college. There should be a course on um, natural, organic, heirloom, small-scale gardening, small-scale organic gardening to be taught to children on how to grow food the proper way, okay, using non-GMO, organic, original heirloom seeds. And I think growing good, healthy food is very important and should be a basic course. Considering the fact that every time I drive by a school system, a school yard, I see a lot of wasted land with grass for landscapers to just, get in their rider mowers and mow away. All this wasted land on schoolyards can very easily be organic gardens. where these children can learn how to grow and get school credit for it. They can also be there's also room for some fruit trees. Have a little orchard going, and donate all this produce to the poor, soup kitchens, food pantries. The same thing applies, I think, to county parks, state parks. They should plant fruit trees, so the homeless, and also as a donation to these food pantries and soup kitchens. I think that these county and state parks should have fruit trees of various kinds planted uh, properly so they can thrive. Now, getting back to the school course, I think it'll be outstanding in the curriculum starting at first grade. Hey, kids can learn how to plant and how to dig up the soil at first grade. They're not invalids at that age. They can do something. You get enough of them together. So teach them how to grow food, how to grow food with the right seeds, and continue that up until 8th grade into high school, and give the children school credit. Now, by the time they graduate high school, they're going to be expert little farmers. You know what I mean? And I know there's a problem in the United States with having your own garden because you can only have it in the backyard. A family tried to grow fruits and vegetables and herbs in the front yard, and they were fined, like, my God, several $100s a day because the ordinance says they couldn't have a garden in front of their house. Just like you can't collect rainwater, you can be arrested for that. So the same thing goes for having a hen house, having the town tell you your stockade fence is too high, you have to take it down or lower it. So you do not really own your own home. The bullshit of the American dream of owning your own home is a bunch of crap. Okay, you most likely own the building that is your home, but you can't. See, that's the funny part. All right, you don't own the land because eminent domain. Forget about owning the land. It's hogwash because you have to get permits for everything, and then you have the town or the county tell you you can't do this and you can't do that. Now, if you own, when people say, yeah, but you own your own home, the building is yours. Oh, really? Try growing some organic hydroponic marijuana in your basement under a plant light or something. Try having an exotic pet that is not permitted, that, is considered an exotic pet that you're not allowed to have. And they'll come with a warrant and go in your house, and sometimes they don't even need a search warrant, and they will trespass in your home. So you don't own anything. Forget it. All these flag waving right wingers, these conservatives that wave the flag and say, Yankee Doodle Dandy, the American dream, blah blah blah. First of all, it's bullshit. Second of all, there is no trickle down economics, because the CEO scumbag of Papa John Pizza proved it when he stated that we are not obligated to share this company's prosperity with our employees. So that debunks the whole trickle down theory. You can forget about trickle down. It's trickle dickle. It's a big lie. Okay. Since the Industrial Revolution, nothing trickled. Everything, like the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisman said, everything pools at the top. It's like a wine glass. When the wine glass starts to get too full, right before it overflows, they replace it with a bigger wine glass. And then another big, larger wine glass. And then another one. And then another one. And then another one. And it goes on and on and on. Excuse me while I enjoy some Youngling traditional lager, America's oldest brewery, 1829, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. That's right. America's oldest brewery, Youngling. I don't care what anybody says. It is the best value in beer, period. This only cost me like $7 for 6 bottles. It is a craft beer and it is affordable and it just tastes great. And it is still, from what I understand, a family-owned business. Thank God. Oh yeah, it's the spot. Now, I think it's deliberate toxic genocide to have nothing but refined carbohydrates and chemical laden foods on American supermarket shelves. It also makes people in the United States addicted to refined carbohydrates to the point where their pancreas, their insulin production just can't keep up with it and it shuts down. There you go. Diabetic medication, shots, more doctor visits, so on and so forth. So it goes on and on and on. So, and that's the major cause of obesity is refined carbohydrates. Okay, the insulin production just can't deal with the overload, and the calories. I mean, the additional blood sugar is stored as fat. This is why the Atkins ketogenic, God rest his soul, also the Atkins, and I might as well say, I might as well include his mentor, the late great Dr. Carlton Fredericks, the both of them who work together. The ketogenic diet is the smartest way to burn excess body fat. You can buy keto sticks at any pharmacy. And if you dip it in urine, and if they turn purple, the more purple they are, the more fat your body is burning for energy. The problem that many people have with the Atkins ketogenic diet, some use the word paleo diet too, is the diet doesn't fail them. They fail the diet simply because they cut out the essential fats. You need the essential fatty acids, which also includes real butter and flaxseed oil, walnut oil, macadamia nut oil, safflower oil, chia seed oil, hemp oil, which in my opinion is one of the very finest, organic coconut oil, and real good butter. Like I like the Kerry gold butter from Ireland, or ghee, ghee from India. What the essential fats do is they stabilize your blood sugar so you feel full much longer. Okay, you don't have that empty feeling like you're starving. Okay, and that's what you need to do when you're on the ketogenic diet. It's a high protein, high fat, low carbohydrate, and low sugar program. Okay, I would use stevia. I would use coconut sugar, which is low in glycemic index. I would use panela, which is a dehydrated sugarcane juice, where you're getting all the high nutrition, like blackstrap molasses has. Okay, but I would really watch the carbs. You need a carbohydrate counter. Um, Portion control, calories in, calories out, is not efficient. It's old-fashioned. It's registered dietitian nonsense, because it's like 3,500 calories makes a pound of body fat. But remember, every pound of muscle that your body has requires 50 calories, even at rest, even if you're sleeping, just to maintain itself. Every pound of muscle needs 50 calories. We'll burn 50 calories if it just does nothing but sit there, not counting exercise. So, the more muscle mass you have, the higher your metabolism will be, the more body fat you will burn off. So, the Atkins program fits perfectly into a strength training because aerobics is not efficient because you have to do so many hours of aerobics per week to be able to literally burn off pounds of body fat. So strength training, muscle mass is the way to go for your metabolism. Of course, you can detox is extremely important. Drinking lemon water, green tea, Bragg organic apple cider vinegar in water. A good detox formula with organic spirulina. There might be chlorella in there. Um, barley grass juice, wheatgrass juice, um, any grass juices, alfalfa. There's a product that's very affordable. I know there's one product called Green Vibrance that's outstanding, and also the Gary No green stuff and phytopower and greens and grains. These are all great, but they're expensive. There's one in Walmart called Country Farms Super Greens. Believe that's the company. Country Farms Super Greens formula has probiotics, and they have different versions of it. But it's very affordable. It's like $16 or $17, unless it's on sale. And keep it in the freezer or refrigerator. And it's actually cheaper than having a juice extractor, because if you have a juice extractor, you have to have a place to keep all that organic produce. Number one, you have to be able to afford to buy all that organic produce, and number two, you have to have room to keep it. And then you gotta like not mind cleaning the juicer. Now, if you have it, all that considering, if you can do it all, get a high quality, slow masticating juicer, and whichever brand you choose to get. Check the reviews, but it's usually a side. The juice comes out the side and it has a pulp ejector. I think Omega is like a premier company. You can get it at Walmart too now. But anyway, I want to read a. I saw something ridiculous in the news. There was an incident here in New Jersey, and let me bring up the article. From NorthJersey.com, sexual assault alleged in Montclair High School restroom. Now, this was, and and I knew this was going to be nothing but trouble when I first started reading articles about this. This is an all-gender restroom. All right, let me read it first. Montclair, an alleged sexual assault in a Montclair High School restroom involving 2 minors is being investigated, officials said. Principal James Earl notified parents in an email that there were, in an email, he couldn't call them, that there were allegedly a sexual assault in the all-gender restroom at the high school. The alleged assault involved 2 minors, said Catherine Carter, an Essex County Prosecutor's Office spokeswoman. Quote, the safety of our students is of primary concern, unquote, Earl said. While the matter is being fully investigated, we have increased security in the building. Why don't you go back to the old-fashioned men's room, a ladies' room? Okay. School board president Laura Herzog declined to comment, referring questions to Superintendent Kendra Johnson. No arrests have been made, Carter said. You see how I'm smiling? I'm ready to laugh. Calls to Johnson and Montclair police were not immediately returned. Check back for more on this developing story. Okay, email is Tori, TORREJON at northjersey.com. Okay, that's fine and dandy. Montclair High School restroom. Now you're going to hear it from James P. Madonna. Incredible. Isn't this incredible? First of all, especially with young people that have raging hormones, or regardless what age there are, you do not put men and women in the same restroom, in the same public restroom. You have men and women in this little space, dropping their drawers with their genitalia hanging out, and expect nothing to ever happen. And in this case, it's an all gender, which means there are men, women, and most likely transgender individuals in there uh, doing their business, and dropping their drawers. Are you serious? Especially with young people in high school? You can't be serious. Raging hormones, young men and women dropping their drawers in the same little room. You're out of your fucking mind if you expect nothing to go wrong. You're living in a fairy tale world. Just think about that for a second. It's total insanity. The guys are in front of a urinal with their schlong hanging out and their sweaty balls. And then a girl comes in and sees that, and then she goes in the stall and she drops her drawers. And then a transgender comes in, and she, because they like to be called she's. She goes up to, I don't know what, wherever she wants to go, the urinal or the stall, drops her drawers with the schlong hanging out, okay, flopping in the breeze. Is something wrong with that picture, people? You're shoving these kids, these male and female kids with raging hormones together in the same restroom. All three, male, female, transgender. What do you expect to happen? I mean, use a little logic. Use a little logic. Hook or by crook, eventually there are going to be activities going on, and horniness and assaults. Of course this shit's gonna go on. Unbelievable. As soon as you think the world cannot get any crazier, it proves you wrong, and it gets crazier. My scheduled co-host, Dr. Remulak, he had to work late, but he said that he will be with me in 45 minutes, and that was like he was supposed to technically be ready like around between 7:15 and 7:30 p.m. But now it's like 9:16 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and no Dr. Remulak. I mean, I told him what the title of the show was going to be for this week, and he insisted that he wanted to bring up immigrants again. He does that often. I don't know why. He's got this thing about discussing immigrants. I told him, don't pick on immigrants of color. Don't single them out. You know, Latino immigrants, because there are many immigrants from Europe that like to play the system here in the United States. Believe you me, you know, I mean, play it in different ways. Believe me, whether it be welfare or rent subsidy or let's say green card scams. You know, it could be, let's say, an Eastern European woman uh, uh, seducing some American guy, hooking up with an American man, and before you know it, like what happened to my stepfather, she used him to get a green card and citizenship, and then she left him. Well, he's deceased now, my stepfather, but it happened to him. It was a Russian girl, a much younger Russian girl, right? And it happens. Department of Immigration, the gentleman told me there are many tens of thousands of American victims. So what I'm trying to say is, if you single out immigrants of color only, Latinos, and you get off the subject of immigrants from other parts of the world, what you're doing is you're targeting people of color, which means which proves that right-wing conservative Republicans deep down are just flat out racist. I mean, if it looks, sounds, and walks like a duck, you know the rest. It's a duck. And they always show their true colors. I urge everyone, this is not going to be a very long show. I urge everyone to register to vote and get out and vote this November 2018. It is your duty to vote. As an American citizen, I don't care who you vote for. I don't care if you vote for Daffy Duck, the Roadrunner, Elmer Fudd, Bugs Bunny, Baby Finster. I don't give a shit who you vote for, as long as you get your lazy ass out of your house and you go and vote and you do it. Okay? Because it only takes me like not even like 10 to 15 minutes to vote, and I'm done. I go in the afternoon. I go earlier. I don't go at night. I'm in and out. But I do it. I make it my business to vote. If you do not vote, people, where's my shillelagh? If you do not vote, you have no right to complain. You hear that? I don't want to hear how brilliant you are on Facebook, on Twitter, whatever, social media, if you don't vote. If you have a lot to say on social media and I ask you, well, did you vote in the last major election? And you say no, I'll just ignore you. You don't vote, don't complain. So get out and vote. Because when the asses of the masses always vote, then the right-wing, capitalist, greedy, corrupt forces of evil never, ever get elected. And progressives always win the elections. When the asses of the masses vote, the more little guys, the little schmucks, the little putzes, the little working stiffs, the more of them get their asses out and vote, the less Republicans and right-wing motherfucking libertarians get elected. Dig it? That's a fact, Jack. So on that note, I'm going to say goodnight because I have completed topic of the show. Uh, Everyone must be busy by now this Friday. I don't see anybody calling. I don't see anything going on in the chat window. So that's it. Till next time. It won't be next week because I'll be busy with the great Commodore Jeff Zambello and Mr. Maceman Rick Brown. I will be doing shows with them, fitness related, fitness for older adults. So it won't be political, but it will be entertaining. It will be a lot of fun. There will be a lot of joking going on, and I'm very happy that Mr. Maceman is coming to New Jersey finally to do a seminar, and I'm also extremely happy that my good friend Jeff Zambello will be here. The man will be driving far to come here, to this godforsaken part of the United States. So I salute you guys. Take care and good night.